Torbjorn is one of the best defense characters in the game. Torbjorn's turret is one of the strongest abilities in the game. His turret gives your team the most consistent DPS that you can wish for, since the turret is doing most of the work. There is a reason why Torbjorn is DPS. It's a little known fact. But Torbjorn is actually the long-lost shimada brother, but he threw away this title of DPS a long time ago.
There once were 3 brothers who controlled the dragons. One controlled the dragon of the north wind, one controlled the dragon of the south wind, and one controlled the dragon of the sugoi wind. The Shimada brothers were sitting inside as they always were. They were playing about as usual, but as fate soon would learn, nothing can last forever. Torbjorn wasn't always called Torbjorn. He used to go by his name of Chisana Inke, which translates to Fire of the Lotus Flower. Inke was always the leader, even though he was a little shy. He felt like he had to carry the responsibility as the oldest of the 3 Shimadas. He always carried his mighty Dakimakura with him. His weapon was said to be able to destroy mountains. Some even say he could rever a skyscraper with his mighty weapon. The brothers grew up together as a loving family. However, as they grew older, Inke's brothers started to be afraid of Inke's mighty weapon. Inke was being shut out by the other 2 Shimadas. Because of this, Inke used all of the power of his mighty Dakimakura and used his Super Sugoi dragons to rock away his Dakimakura for good. Slowly but surely, the 3 Shimadas were reunited. The days seemed like they were before, even if Hanzo looked at it a bit more homicidal toward his precious Genji. Inke talked about his worries to his precious Hanzo, but Hanzo only replied with, "Fuck you! Hanzo is a good pick. You pick a hero." Inke didn't know at the time what these words meant, but he was sure it was something powerful. As Inke would later recall, his younger days flew by like a good anime on a good weekend. Everything changed, however, on a wrong and stormy night. The 3 were playing Getting on the Objective, which is a very popular children's game in this time in Japan. Genji and Hanzo weren't very good at it, however. They almost never seemed to win. Genji was especially bad at it, however, as he would always just sit in a corner and ask for healing, like a little bitch. Inke always felt his little brother was an inspiration to him, even though he was much younger than Inke. He always wanted to be brave like him and dash off of the objective. But with his mighty Dakimakura gone, so left his courage. He soon found himself hiding behind his turret instead of being on the front lines. His father started to see him as a disappointment to the family. One day, Inke went up to his father to ask him to tell his favorite fairy tale again. It was titled Hearing. It was about a Swiss and his special relationship with a cyborg ninja. This special relationship soon sparked something special. A beam of light started to emit from the staff. It was something they later referred to as hearing. But that is a story for another time. His father refused to tell him this magical story. All he told him was, "Why you no doctor yet? You disgrace. Get out! Come back when you doctor!" Inke looked at his father, surprised to hear these very words. He knew that they were coming, but not so soon. He looked at his father with teary anime eyes and said, "Anata no oka-san wo chosita, obandasu." They are Japanese after all. I am kind of confused why they were talking English earlier. Anyhow, he walked outside. He knew what he had to do. He had to get back his mighty Dakimakura. His brothers, desperately trying to stop him. "I need hearing," said Genji. Inke turned around with tears in his eyes and said, "I know, Genji. I know." He went onto the Shimada's holy altar and spoke the only words that could get back his holy Dakimakura. Hard work pays off. The Dakimakura descended from the heavens and into Inke's hands. He hugged it. He would never let it go again. He went back to his father to challenge him to a duel, so he could get back his life in the dojo. The battle raged on for 4 days and 4 nights. The 2 were exhausted and depleted. In this fearful fight, Inke lost his precious Dakimakura and his pride. Inke looked at his father, defeated. As he looked at his father, Hanzo's words echoed in his head. "Fuck you! Hanzo is a good pick. You pick a hero." Inke finally understood what this word meant. He had to go and save the world. He had to go on a quest for heroes. He roamed the earth for many days and many nights, until he was picked up by a German man who went by the name of Reinhardo. Reinhardo got Inke to join Overwatch. Inke realized that to save his family from this dishonor, he had to discard his name and heritage. He decided to pose as a Swede with the name of his favorite X-rated website, Torbjorn. And he stayed and trained in Overwatch for many years. After an unspecified period of time, he met a lone cyborg warrior who was apparently a new trainee. He looked the new trainee dead in the eyes and said, nothing. Somehow this new trainee reminded him of his younger brother. Later that day, he was invited to see the cyborg warrior train. He looked on as the cyborg performed many familiar moves. The cyborg, after taking 1 HP worth of damage, screamed in agony, "I need healing!" His words resonated in Inge. It was Genji. He jumped down to hug his little brother. Their embrace seemed to last forever. "What happened, brother?" asked Inge. The cyborg warrior looked up with tears dwelling in his eye holes. He got close to Torbjorn's ear and whispered,
I need healing.